Hello, teachers. First of all, thank you so much for supporting our students applying to universities. What we're going to talk about today is the World Letter of Recommendation request or World Letter of Reference request. Um, this is designed for any student applying to universities that do not have a full USA style letter. Um, so that would include countries like the Netherlands, UK, other European universities that require this form could also have some Asian universities with specialized majors. So primarily this is going to be used for EU, UK, um, in some lesser cases Canada, and some cases Asian universities. This will not be a full letter of recommendation, so you want to use the USA style process for anybody applying to the US or USA like schools, which would include IE University, for example, in Madrid, or any university that is going to require a full letter. That's usually any USA style university around the world. So, for example, Duke University, China will require a USA style letter of recommendation. This style is in the past, we've called it the 7 to 10 sentences that you used to email to Mr. Lally. But now we're formalizing the process of making it hopefully a little easier for both students and teachers to know what they have to do. So the first step in the process is that you're going to receive this form from a student. So you're going to get an email from a student who has filled out this form. This is their reference request to you. And we're asking the students to first ask you if you'd be able to support their application to World Universities, and then receive this form. So once they fill it out, the students will get a bounce back email that looks like this. You see here, they tell you what universities they're applying to that require recommendation. You see here, you have a UK all schools, EUC, UCU, Netherlands. So these universities are going to require the short form. Then we have a longer form letter here. So in this case, the student would require both a world letter of recommendation where I'm going to show you how you're going to do these brief 7 to 10 sentences, and that would be for the Netherlands and the UK. But they'll also need a full letter of reference for IE University, and the student will have to let you know which of those three teachers is going to write the IE recommendation. And if you were the teacher that would have to do the IE recommendation, you would do a full letter of reference. We'll be able to show you through Maya how you'll be absolutely sure whether or not you're going to be doing the full style or the partial style, because now we have Maya, the invite system. You'll be able to know very clearly whether or not is a full letter of recommendation and the student is asking you to write the full letter, or you're just going to do the partial additions. So here we go. You go ahead and reading this thing. I gave you some good examples here. We have the what four adjectives best describe you. This is all the students' information that you're gonna get from them. Read it all over and then pay particular attention to is there anything else you'd like your counselor, your teacher to know about you? This could be directed to a particular teacher. Right here I say, please remember that I came to Nido halfway through 10th grade. I needed to catch up in math a lot, and this is very stressful. And then I have overcome this deficiency in work to study in the UK, which SL Math is a required subject for psychology in the UK. So I say, hey, Mr. Pi, could you focus on my hard work and determination? So students can put little notes in here for specific teachers. I do tell them that this should be more or less based on their personal statement. I actually can use this to help them write their personal statement for the UK or the Netherlands. So you're going to get some information here that they're also going to include in their personal statement. After reading this over, then you're going to go into Maya. And when you get to Maya, you're going to click on your student. In this case, we're going to use an example student. In your recommendations request section, you're going to see here that the student has 3 recommenders, and you have their deadlines here in terms of how they're going to complete the recommendation process and by what date you have to complete that reference. So then you're going to click on the cloud, and you're going to open up this document. Now, depending upon what document you open up, it's going to tell you whether or not you're going to write the long letter of recommendation or the short one. So even though students should tell you, even though you received the form about which style of letter you're going to be writing, we also have made sure that if you're supposed to write a world style, you're going to download this form. Please click here to complete a teacher world university letter of recommendation form. That way you'll know it's the short form style rather than the full letter of reference. So even if you're a little unsure, once you download the request, you'll either download the USA style brag sheet, and that will be very clear that you're requested to do a USA style letter, and this will come up on your link form if you're to do a different format. So here we go. Here's the form for you. We have instructed students to do the following process before. You see, so before you start writing your letter of recommendation, ensure that the students do these 3 steps. And then when the above steps are complete, you're ready to fill out the form. So then you go ahead and fill out this form. It's very much what has always been done in the past, except once again breaking it down a little easier, so you know when you've covered enough information for the student. So we're going with quality 1. You believe makes this student a good fit for their chosen major. In-class specific examples using data, anecdotes, details. This is your proof. And particularly note is important. Remember, subjects not related to the major can have a powerful impact in the admissions process. Make connections. So if a student has asked you as the biology teacher to write partial reference for them for the UK or other EU, and they're applying to business, don't think that you're not an appropriate person to ask. Lots of teamwork, collaboration, leadership can be shown in the classroom, in any classroom, in any subject. That's just an example. But remember, even if you're non-related, you can show really how the student has displayed some of these characteristics in any classroom, particularly when it comes to Harkness style discussions, project that they have done. This can be very impactful. So then we have it 3 times, same thing. Quality, proof of it, in-class specific example. Then final thoughts, give 3 or 4 sentences about why you believe the student will succeed at university. You can have this section as a way to show what is special, unique, different about the student. So there you go. And it's pretty brief. We're not expecting this to really take a long time, but it'll be very, very important as a voice for the student. So then after you submit this responses, your copy of responses will be provided to you, so you also have a record that you submitted your letter of recommendation. Once you have hit submit, you are done. There is nothing more to do at that point. You don't need to go back into Maya. Once you submit this form, We have marked it in the data that you have submitted your letter of recommendation. And what we do is we will then go to the spreadsheet for this form and collect your additions, and we put them together into one full letter of recommendation. For the UK, it's 4,000 characters max. Many other world universities have about a page limit. So we do our best to get everyone's opinion in there. We do have to cut some things in order to make them fit. Heather and I will have to put sort of a preamble onto every letter about Nido, about our school, because a lot of these schools will not view a school profile. So we have to put some information about the school. Then we will put your contributions there using direct quotes. And then at the end, we have usually, once again, our conclusion about why we think that student's a great fit for that intended major and that university. So that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope this has been helpful and informative.